Listening to the Metal Meltdown, and I'm with Martyr's Rick Bouwman.
Yeah, hello Seb, how are you?
I'm really good, thanks. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
I understand you were out yesterday playing a festival. How did that go?
Oh, that was awesome. That was really good. It was a big party. I think there were around 200 people that were showing up. And it was with, some metal legends like Picture from the Netherlands. All Netherlands bands, all Dutch bands. Great friends of ours. 6 bands, young bands, old bands. Really excellent, good organization. Everything just was really good. But it was late last night, so I'm still retiring now. So catching up my breath.
That's cool. So Martyr were established in the early 80s, and you split in 1987. Do you regret Do you ever regret the break between 1987 to 2001?
Yeah, well, that's something sometimes I regret, because in the mid-80s things were going very well for Martyr, but when the bands like Bon Jovi in Europe came up, and we were in negotiation with a big record label here in the Netherlands, Polydor. They asked us also to write in that same style of music, and that's something that we weren't into, and we couldn't write those commercial kind of rock. We were a pure metal band, but we tried, and that's something that I regret, because we should have stayed with our own style. And when we tried to please that record company, then it wasn't good for the band,
Yeah.
And then we came up with the musical differences, etc., etc. So I regret that we listened to somebody that tried to influence the band, and that was sort of the reason why we split up then.
Right.
So I think still, but we learned from it, We learned to just do our own thing and never listen to anybody that tells you what to do, because when you're a musician, you need to do what you think that's best for you and what you want to play, and if the fans like it, then we're very pleased, of course. But first, you need to love it yourself.
Yeah, I understand that totally.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard someone say it was Europe and Bon Jovi. It's usually grunge that stops things, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit earlier even than I think then grunge came into the metal scene. It was really the commercial hit singles from Bon Jovi, Europe. Then the big companies also got interested in Dutch bands.
Yeah.
And they asked us as well to write like a hit single.
Yeah.
We couldn't do that. We just couldn't.
Understandable.
But inside of me a fire reaches a melting point. Is it false?
Circle 8 was released in 2011, had mega rave reviews. Are there plans for a new album now? Have you written a new album?
No, we are writing a new album as we speak.
Right.
So we're in the middle of writing and arranging some new songs. There will be a total of 9 or 10 songs that we will record for a new album next year. And mid-January we will go into the studio, the same studio as we recorded Circle of Eight. That's Jack's place in Belgium with our producer Jack Noblen, who's a great guitar player by the way and great guy. And we will do a pre-production of around 4 songs.
Right. Okay.
Take them back with us, see if they're good enough, maybe do some rearranging if needed, and then get back in the studio again and do the other 5 songs, do the same thing, and then I think before the summer we will record the album in total, and I think after the summer we hope for a release. So it will be late 2014 before the world will see a new Martyr album.
So what can we expect from the new album? I mean, is it going to be Circle of Eight vein, or is it going to be heavier, or?
It will be, I think, even more heavy than the Circle of Eight album, yeah. It will be in the style of Circle of Eight, and Circle of Eight is a bit like more modern than our 80s style, but I think because we are from the 80s and you can never ignore your roots, where you're coming from, so there will be like an 80s sound in the new album as well. But I think it will be a more development like Circle of Eight already was when you compare it with the 80s albums. More, maybe a little bit more thrashy, more speedy. But there will also be some, I think some classic tunes on it, like more in the 80s stuff. So I think it will be a heavy, diverse album, and the songs that we already have written, I'm really excited about it, so I think it will be great.
Absolutely. Is that going to be released on Metal Blade as well?
We hope so. We have a deal for the Circle of Eight album, and after that we will be in touch with Metal Blade again. It will be a one release deal every time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we release Circle of Eight, we will offer the new album to Metal Blade, of course. I think they will like it because it will even be heavier than Circle of Eight.
Okay.
And then they need to agree on it, yes or no, and I hope they will agree on it to release it again on Metal Blade, because they really did an excellent job for the Circle of Eight album for us. So, and it's a big label with major attention from the metal scene, magazines, radio, etc., all over the world. So let's hope that they are very interested again in releasing the new Martyr album in 2014.
Excellent, can't wait for that. You play a lot of live shows. In fact, you play a hell of a lot of live shows.
Yeah, we always do.
God, I was like looking just now, I was really amazed. What keeps you motivated and inspired?
Yeah, I think the major thing that keeps us motivated is that we're having so much fun when we're doing it. It's fun to be on the road, it's fun to be on stage, it's fun to be with the guys in a hotel room, if you know what I mean. It's always a pleasure, and what's motivating us as well is the feedback that we still get from our fans, even when they already knew us back from the 80s, but also the new fans that weren't even born then yet, It's giving us so much energy, bringing our songs live or releasing the albums and receive all those feedback. So it's about fun, it's about the positive feedback that we receive even after 30 years that keeps us going on.
Fantastic. Have you ever considered doing a Martyr Day festival sort of thing with your favourite bands? I know you said that you did the show yesterday, but have it themed as a Martyr Day festival?
We had the 30th anniversary in 2012. That was like a Martyr Metal Bash. That was with bands that we love.
Right.
And 6 bands in our rock temple here in Utrecht. That's where we live, in the mid of the Netherlands. And that's Tivoli, Club Tivoli. I don't know if you know it, but that's really like a rock temple in the Netherlands. Like it can keep up until I think thousands of people, 1,000 people or something. And 6 bands from the Netherlands, Belgium, even from Brazil.
Right.
And what's really fun is that all of these bands played one old Martyr song as a tribute to us.
That's fantastic.
And then in their own style. So that was really a great evening, and that was really a big party for us, for the bands that were playing with us, but also for the fans that showed up. And so that was a Martyr fest. That was amazing. Yeah.
Cool, that's amazing. 'Cause I'm a big fan of Belgium. I don't know if you've ever seen my posts on Facebook, but it's always PPM Fest and everything. Belgium.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love Belgium. Next place is Holland. I was a bit gutted to see you're playing while I'm over in Belgium, but you're actually playing the night PPM Fest is on. I was a bit gutted because I'd like to actually see you over there. Are there plans to play the UK at all?
We have plans to play in the UK. We already did London with Lizzie Borden. I think it was 2 years ago.
Right.
Camden.
Yeah.
Underworld. That was really amazing. I think our music, our style is what the UK fans really like as well, because it was the first time that we played in England, by the way, and I think people maybe never heard of us or didn't even know the songs, but there was really immediately very good response on the kind of music that we play.
Yeah.
And also when I read the reviews from UK magazines on Circle of Eight, and I really recognize that there is some kind of connection between our style and maybe the new wave of British heavy metal. It's kind of like the same era, of course, the 80s. Yeah. But it's also a bit of within the same style, I think. And we have plans to come over to the UK. We're working on it for, I hope, April, May.
Okay.
So, and we're playing, of course, with some new wave British heavy metal bands here in the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany. We did a tour with Jaguar. We did a tour with Avenger. We're planning for a weekender tour with Avenger in April. That's already settled, by the way.
Right.
So we'll do Belgium, Netherlands, and Germany. And we hope to come over with Avenger or with Jaguar later in 2014 as well. So we're working really hard on it, because UK is something that really, the Camden Underworld gig is still one of the gigs that I think is one of the most remarkable gigs that we have done with Martyr. Maybe even one of the best gigs we have ever done with Martyr so far.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was really excellent.
That's amazing. The thing is, with European bands, they always seem to play London, but like England's bigger than London. Come up north, go Glasgow, Scotland even.
You're right. We only played London as well, but we really would love to go all over the UK, Scotland, Ireland even, of course. So, I hope we can do it next year.
That'd be amazing. I've seen you being added to the Master Plan tour. Was that quite big to get onto that tour?
Yeah, we were asked to do it by the booker from the venue in Rotterdam. So we're doing the Rotterdam show at least, and we hope for more, of course. So it's not the whole tour that we'll join Masterplan, but at least we're doing the show here in the Netherlands with them. So yeah, I'm really honored to be their support.
Dangerous, I know to treat.
So what are your feelings on the metal scene in Holland? I mean, speaking of Belgium, I know it's strong, very strong.
Yeah.
Is it the same in Holland, do you feel?
I think it's the same. We have a lot of new bands. We have a lot of young bands that are really coming up as well. I think what's really big here in Holland and worldwide is the gothic scene, like bands like Epica, Within Temptation. Of course, like Floyd Jansen now joining Nightwish. That's really a big scene here.
Yeah.
The old school scene is really dedicated, still holding on to the old school. That's what we did yesterday. That was really like an old school festival with bands from the 80s, new bands, but then they were playing the old school style. Well, like 200 people showed up, so that was really good as well. But you know what is the difficult thing in the Netherlands is that we have a lot of clubs and there is a lot going on. And every day, every weekend, there are a lot of shows throughout the Netherlands. And of course, the country is not that big, so there is always a lot to do.
Right.
So it's always quite exciting if you will attract the fans or not, you know what I mean? Because in the town next to where you are playing, there probably will be another festival as well. So that's always a surprise. Will the fans show up or not? And maybe even sometimes there is too much. But maybe that's good, you know, because that means that the scene is still alive as well.
Well, exactly, because over here we've got clubs and rock clubs closing down left, right and centre, so it's good that it's healthy over there.
Yeah, it's healthy. And what you said about Belgium, I think it's the same. There are really some great clubs, like smaller clubs, like the Verlichte Geest or all the small clubs that we play on a regular basis that really are also good for the band, you know. When you arrive there, then you are being welcomed very warmly and the fans are good for you, and that's really nice to see that the metal scene is still alive as well in Belgium.
That's excellent. So do you find it easy to choose a set list then when you're playing live, and do you have favourite tracks to play live?
Yeah, there are always some songs that we need to play because the fans want us to play those songs, like Speed of Samurai.
Yeah.
That's a track that's already written in 1984. That's still our fans' favorite, so we must play that track always, or everywhere we go. And of course, the last 2 years we played mainly songs from Circle of Eight to promote the album, of course.
Yeah.
But we're now getting back also more to the old songs, like even a song from the second demo that we ever have recorded. It's not even on one of our albums, like a song like Snow and Fire. We play it live every time. So we're doing a mixture of old songs and mainly songs still from Circle of Eight. We will go into studio in January, as I already told you.
Yeah.
And I think after the pre-production, I think we will throw in slowly one or two of our newest songs for next year as well. So it will be a mixture always of old and new.
Do you still listen to the older metal, or are you up to date with the newer metal?
Yeah, I listen to both. I still listen to the old school stuff.
Yeah.
And but I also listen to the newer stuff, and I'm also into bands like even Lamb of God or Seven Dust, for example. I think they're great bands, especially the riff, the guitar riffs. I like them a lot. So I can appreciate different styles of metal, but when I'm writing myself, then it mostly comes down to like old school riffs.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I try to write them in a little bit more modern style as well. So, but I listen to different kinds of metal, even if it's old, if it's new. That I don't mind, but it needs to be good. It needs to be from the heart. So.
Edam, cheese or beer?
Beer, of course.
4 words to describe Martyr.
Okay, 4 words to describe Martyr. The love of metal.
Yeah, that's a good one. Have you got any messages to give to your fans and our readers and our
sure.
listeners?
Yeah, of course I have, because I would like to thank everybody, especially for all the support, the continuous support throughout all of these years, because for me that still is amazing. Every time, everywhere I go with the band, to see all those old fans, new fans still supporting us, even though we're already 30 years going strong with Martyr. I think we're even stronger than ever with Martyr. And well, that's always a surprise, and that's why I would like to thank everybody that's listening to the Metal Meltdown and to your show for the continuous support for Martyr. And I hope it will continue for many, many years still.
So do I, absolutely. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Alright, this is Bouwman from Martyr, Dutch Metal Legends, and you're listening to the Metal Meltdown.